Greetings, humans. Yes, Corvids. If you couldn't tell, I love Corvids. I mean, I'm literally a crow. Corvids are basically my favorite animals. Of course, I decided to turn some of these birds into cute characters. I chose the jackdaw and the raven for this one. I'm sort of struggling creatively these days. I find it hard to create anything. I don't really like anything I create these days, so I restarted a lot of my drawings. This is why I did multiple different sketches for these two characters. I still decided to include them in here just to show my process, even though I was in pain. Unlike crows and ravens, jackdaws are less well known. They are a species of corvid that distinguish themselves by the color of their coat. I based the design on the Dorian jackdaw. Their feathers have three colors: black, white, and gray. The species lives mostly in Asia. Apparently, these birds are seen as a symbol of intelligence. They seem to also be associated with self-centeredness. I decided to make this character a mischievous smartass. Yes, a mischievous smartass. Jackdaw had to look annoyingly intelligent. I wanted them to be snarky in a way. And the first design concepts that I made, his outfit was classy and academic. I did slightly change it in the final design though, because I found them somewhat boring. As you can see, I was also having difficulties figuring out a good hairstyle. It felt always sort of off. Trying to figure out a pose that would make his personality shine was another thing that took me a lot of time. I gradually pushed the pose and expression more and more after each sketch. This really helped me make the final drawing look more expressive. My final choice landed on this sassy and cute, egotistical pose and face. The overall vibe of the clothing stayed the same. It's classy, it's academic, it's luxurious. I didn't make a couple of changes though. The main one is the hair. I opted for a more slick back hairstyle. I think this suits them better. I also gave Jackdaw a feather haircut for fun because I thought it was a good idea and kind of relates back to the bird kind of theme going on. Another thing I changed from the first sketches that I did is the tie. Instead of a normal tie, I gave him ribbons that are shaped like wings. This adds more character and shows the bird concept even more. Speaking of the bird theme, I gave them a wing cape. I love wing capes, it's just such a cool concept. And the shoes and pants are nothing special, just businessy stuff. The top though, I did try to make something interesting. I gave him a white button down with a vest on top, super classy. The last thing that I added were square glasses and a magical book with all the knowledge of Arcaden in it, because he's smart, he knows it all. The colors were pretty simple. I just had to keep the original colors of the jackdaw. I simply wanted to make sure that the disposition of the colors would resemble the actual pattern of the bird. Since the head of the jackdaw is black, I made the character's hair black. Making the cape and the vest gray was simply perfect to replicate the way the gray feathers are placed on the jackdaw. Also, I made the pants and shoes black because the legs of this bird are also black. Finally, you may notice the yellow accents I added. I just needed a vibrant color to balance the overall color palette, and this rich yellow really screamed luxury to me. Now to the big boy, the raven. Ravens are pretty big. It's the biggest corvid, I think. It can have a wingspan of about 1.5 meters, which is quite large. They almost live everywhere. Ravens are often associated with death. However, It's also a symbol of rebirth and wisdom. With this information, I had to make Raven a wise and mysterious big brother. The first sketch I made was going in the forest healer direction, which I do still love as a concept. The only thing is, it wasn't intimidating enough. Ravens are huge, and I feel like they're imposing. I did keep a lot of elements I gave the first design, but I slightly switched it up. It was important for me to keep the imposing posture of the raven. I incorporated this big feather color that extends to the shoulders. This gives this character a larger and sharper frame. It also resembles the more prominent feather colors that ravens have compared to crows and other corvids. Just like Jackdaw, I gave him a cape, but this time it's shaped like the tail of the raven, which is this wedged shape sort of thing. His shirt looks like a sorcerer's gown. I made the long sleeves shaped like feathers. Since raven are associated with death, I incorporated multiple elements to the design that can symbolize this. The kite is the most obvious one, since it's heavily associated with reapers. A smaller detail that is still noticeable is the skull headpiece. And the last one, and my favorite one, is the red cage detail close to the corset. It's such a nice little touch and I really like it. Oh, and the last one is the skull-like makeup he has going on. Since ravens are also symbols of free bird, I gave him flowers, more specifically calla lilies. These are a sign of rebirth, and I thought flowers were a nice contrasting touch to the gloomy theme of death. For the pose, it was pretty simple. I wanted something imposing and assertive. I also needed this raven character to have a calm aura to him. I feel like Raven would be a reaper, but would give the chance of rebirth to the souls of the people he takes with him. And he seems scary, but when you get to know him, he's sort of this calm and serene person. I just thought this idea was pretty cool. And for the accent color, I added a bright and vibrant purple. It's still a dark purple because I didn't want it to be too contrasting, but I still thought that it was an interesting color to add since purple is highly associated with spirituality, which I kind of linked to this Reaper character. It just suited him well. Corvids are just so cool. Designing these characters slightly helped me get back into my usual creative mindset. Hopefully, I'll be able to get back to creating stuff as I usually do, but for now, I'll take it slow. Thank you so much for watching me design these little guys. If you like watching me design things, I do have other content similar to this one on my channel, so feel free to go check this out. And that's pretty much all I've got for you today. So, may our destinies cross again.